Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Daily Trust live stream show. My name is Fidelis Makleva. Today we have a guest on the program. His name is Alhaji Saleh Bayari. He is a leader of the Fulani ethnic group in Nigeria. In fact, he is the National Secretary of the Gan Allah Fulani Association. Alhaji Saleh, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Let's introduce the topic of the day. We are going to be discussing a topic that is very crucial to Nigeria at the moment. It's a disturbing one as well. The constant clashes between farmers and Fulani herdsmen, which has assumed a very worrying dimension in the country in recent past. But before we go to that topic, Alhaji Bayeri, you are the National Secretary, substantive now, used to be interim National Secretary of the Gan Allah Fulani Association. But only little is known about this association. Rather, it is the umbrella body of your members, the Mieti Cattle Breeders Association, that many people are aware of. So can you tell us a little about the Gan Allah Fulani Fulani Association?
Well, thank you very much. In fact, this association came about just in January this year. So it has been in existence barely 7 months ago or now. And the reason for forming this umbrella association, we call it umbrella association because it's a little bit different from the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association in every material particular. The Mieti Allah is a local national association. The Gan Allah Fulani Development Association is a broad-based association. It's not only for cattle rearers. It's for an ethnic Fulani association. So if you are working with Daily Trust as a Fulani person, if your rights are trampled upon and you are a member of the association, we will go and look for a redress for you. If it means going to the International Criminal Court of Justice, we will go there to get your rights for you. Because we have always found out that there are Fulanis who were not cattle rearers, who were affected by crises that were precipitated by cattle rearers, or that was meant for cattle rearers. But at the end of the day, any Fulani on the road will be ambushed. As soon as he's identified, he becomes a victim. So will die instant death. And several have died in that way. People who have even looked like Fulani people have lost their lives by virtue of that seeming identification of them as Fulani people. So we decided that we are going to have an association that will also have a membership in diaspora. This association has a membership in diaspora. You can form an affiliate of it in the United States, you can do it in Ghana, you can do it in Mali, you can do it in Senegal, and anywhere. And we will also fight for your rights in those countries. Okay, so it has a membership in diaspora.
Okay, now talking about the rights of the Fulanis you've talked about, we've had this problem between the Fulanis, the herdsmen, and then the farmers in Nigeria that has been on for over the years, and it appears to be intractable. Now, year in, year out, you have lives lost, farms destroyed. What do you think is responsible for this seemingly intractable crisis?
Fine. One of our reasons for even establishing this Gan Allah Fulani Development Association in membership in diaspora is that we have found out that there could be Fulanis who may not be from Nigeria because of the ECOWAS free movement of goods and people. So you cannot stop a Fulani man from Niger or Cameroon or from Chad into crossing any part of Nigeria as an ECOWAS country, because Nigeria is a signatory to it. So as a result of that, if we want to monitor Fulanis that are going to come from Chad, Cameroon, we have to have the presence of this association there, so that we'll be well informed about their movement, what they are coming for, what they are coming with, and where are they going, when will they enter Nigeria, and when will they exit Nigeria, and what will they do inside Nigeria. That is one of the reasons. So that is one of the main reasons. So coming to the problem of farmers and herdsmen, it's not a new phenomenon. It is something that has existed from time immemorial.
Very well.
Because there has never been the difference between the first cow and the first grass or crop in the world than what we have today. So, but the relationship has been strained for various reasons. We have found out that the main problem, the escalation of the problem between herdsmen and farmers, started somewhere in 1990s. And we found out that most of these crises has some political, ethnic, sectional, and religious undertones.
Okay.
So, as a result of this, you find out that the problems have become intractable, as you said, as a result of these forces. Nigerians of recent have been polarized politically, socio-economically, even if ethnically and religiously. And it has been like that for some time. People have won and lost elections on the sentiment of religion, on the sentiment of ethnicity, on the sentiment of sectionalism. Now, the nearest victim to most people who want to test the will of a religion person or of an ethnic person will always find the Fulani person as a target. So where we used to be our brothers keepers as Nigeria for some time has not been a nation. Maybe it has never been a nation. It has only been a conglomerate of ethnic groups, of parts of this country, of blocks of religion, here and there. So people have tended to use the Fulani person as well as the farmer as a guinea pig. And we believe that this crisis is more ethnic, it's more religious. And maybe in the later part of this program, I will explain further.
Okay, but the traditional Fulani that we know is somebody that used to be identified with his, trademark identity of wearing his hat made of straw, and then the stick that he used to hang around his shoulders. But in recent time, the Fulanis are seen with sophisticated weapons, AK-47, assault rifles, and the rest of them. How come about this?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is an allegation you are making. Because if I were to ask you, to you and your God as a journalist, you must have crisscrossed this country. Did you ever find any Fulani man with an AK-47 or an MPG? I called the security agency and arrested him. If you find that kind of Fulani, he must be an armed robber, like you can find any thief or Idoma or Hausa or Birom, armed robber. But to say, I have seen very funny pictures of Maasai people, picture of some people from Southern Sudan, because of the war that is going on there. People from Chad, because of the Kokoni Wadai wars of those days, who still have abundance of assault weapons, carrying them before they can graze their cattle. Because of the war-torn countries they have found themselves, we still have a remnants of a lot of bandits. We have seen people have to carry those arms before they can survive. And I have not seen a Fulani man anywhere, a Nigerian Fulani man, rearing cattle with an AK-47. It is all a myth. It is all allegations. I am not telling you that there are no Fulanis who own AK-47 for the protection of their animals, because maybe from the wild lions or from the armed robbers or the cattle rustlers, who, unfortunately for the Fulani person, when armed robbers come to the town to rob, when they are chased, the only escape route they have, and their haven of escape, is the bush or the jungle. Unfortunately for the Fulani man, that is his home. So if at the end of the day he does not on any arm that will give him some kind of balance of terror, I don't think he's going to survive. Because by the time the armed robber comes into a bank to break a bank in Abuja, he may only make 2 million naira maybe. That's what maybe in that bank. And maybe you have to kill 3 or 4 policemen before you can get out. But by the time he gets into the bush now and get the Fulani person, he may get one Fulani person that have a cattle that is valued at 250 million. So if he arrests that man and hold him as hostage or his children and ask for 25 million, I'm telling you in the next 24 hours, the 25 million will be available. And that's why the Fulani people have become victims of so many things, of so many forms of tribes or crimes. From also the people who are being instigated, who have raised militia and so on and so forth, which the farmers are also part of it. So, as I know it, I'm telling you, Nigeria, whether you like it or not, you know that there is a breakdown of law and order in Nigeria. Or at least there is a failure of government. Things are improving now. But before now, there has been a total failure of government as far as securing the citizens of this country is concerned. And the number one function of government is to protect human and capital, or to protect you and your means of livelihood. So if a government does not protect your life and your property, then it ceases to be a government, and it ceases to have the right to tell you what to do or know what not to do in order for you to protect yourself. Because when you are reduced to the jungle where outlawry is allowed, where anybody can decide that mind is strength, then you have to have a balance of terror to survive. And I believe the Fulani man has been a rich man who is unprotected in the jungle will have to protect himself in one way or the other. And he will have a justification for doing that until he provided the security that will protect him.
Okay, now talking about this balance of terror you have just referred to. Now, there has been cases of clashes between Fulani herdsmen and farmers reported in several parts of the country. In the south, in the north central, across the country almost. Now, and the issue of contention has always been the farmers and then the herdsmen. Now, this balance of terror you are talking about, why is it targeted at the farmers?
Because it is simple. The farmers are found in the rural areas, or they are found in the bushes, or they are found in the jungle. That is where the Fulani people are also found. And whoever wants to go for the Fulani will have to use some of these people who are with them there. That's why whenever there will be crisis, you hardly hear there was a crisis inside Makurdi metropolis between herdsmen and farmers. You hear the problem in Gwe West. You hear the problem in Logo. You hear the problem in Guma. You hear the problem in Agatu. You hear the problem in Kwanchisha, and so on and so forth. In Kasina Ala. And even when you go to Kasina Ala, you will not find that it is happening at the headquarters of the local government. But you have to transverse some wild grasses or bushes before you get to where the problem is happening. In that place, everybody is for himself, God is for us all. And that is why some people have used to arm themselves. Let me tell you, I don't know about where you come from, but with the clashes between farmers and herdsmen in Plateau State, since September 7, 2007 crisis in Plateau State, all what happened in Barik, Ladi, Riom, Josau, Kanke, Panchin, and Riom, even just East, it was a fight of those who have sophisticated firearms and those who didn't have. And later it became a fight of those who have sophisticated arms versus those who have sophisticated arms. That is where the balance of terror came in. Because a Fulani man who had one double-barrel gun, when they came to wipe out those who didn't have a single, even a damn gun, it was successfully done. But the man having a double barrel eventually started firing it until the aggressors went back, thinking that it was an AK-47 or even a bigger gun. So that man has lived or is alive today to tell the story. But those who didn't have anything, they didn't even have bow and arrow, they are in another world. So now, such a man that have found out that because somebody had a double barrel, that's why he could escape with his family. It will be difficult for that person to resist the urge to buy an AK-47 if he could afford it. He may not buy it for aggression reason, but he may have bought it for self-defense. Because if somebody will be so ruthless, will be so lawless, that he can arm himself with an AK-47 and come and wipe me out in order to rustle my means of livelihood, and the means of livelihood that I have inherited from time immemorial from my parents or grandparents, and they will say, well, that I'm going to pass to my own generations yet unborn. I will not just allow you to take it and go like that. I will have to fight. But it will be unfortunate if I have to be the first person that will go and be so reckless to go and look for trouble that will wipe me out and my family and my means of livelihood, not only me, but that of my children and my grandchildren. But when it comes to protecting my children and my wealth, then I am telling you there will be no weapon that will be too unlawful or too sophisticated that I will not use in the protection of my own family. Because every animal, including the human being, has an instinct for survival.
You are known to be associated with controversy, so to speak. I stand to be corrected, but your name is associated with controversy, and I have several examples to cite here. Now, in February this year, when the crisis in Agatu took place, the National Assembly came up to say that this crisis was perpetrated by Boko Haram. Even the northern governors and the Sultan of Sokoto came up to say that no, this crisis was not perpetrated by Fulani headsmen, as it was being alleged. But you came out to say, no, wait a minute, my people did it. But you know why? They did it because they were avenging the killing of one of their leaders in 2013. Why must there be revenge if we are looking for peace?
Well, you see, I am a Fulani person. Before I can successfully be a leader of the Fulani, I have to go into the mindset of the Fulani person to lead him. So that at the time when I am telling him, stop, don't do this, he will know it is somebody who understands what is happening to him and what his mindset is. If he does not understand, if he takes me like an alien, that I don't belong, I will never know what he is doing, and therefore I cannot justify what he is doing, and therefore I cannot tell him do it or don't do it. So when I give a statement as a leader, sometimes I give a statement of what I know is the position of the mindset of the planning person, not me. But because I am the one saying it, that may look controversial. But it is the controversy of the mindset of somebody that I am now divulging to the Nigerian security and to the Nigerian government and to the Nigerian press. Because until you know under what circumstances will the Fulani man go for revenge and why, before you can be able to solve the problem. Nobody has ever heard, at least I've not heard any Christian or any Jew who said that it is wrong that when Palestinians will launch one rocket launcher and kill a 97-year-old woman or man, then the Jews will now go and bring their infantry and invade Gaza and kill 100 or 100,000 Palestinians in justification for the killing of that woman. I'm not here where any religious group, especially Christian group or the United Nations, even come in and say it is wrong. What they try to do is that they say they are a minority within a very hostile majority, and they have an aggregate in their population that if you kill one Jew and they don't kill 10 or 20 Palestinians, then at the end of the day, by killing one on their side, they will be wiped out, while the Palestinian population will still be 50% from what has attacked them so far. So I don't know whether the Jews and the Fulanis have something in common. Maybe as minorities, maybe as persecuted people, maybe they have a common ideology that they believe in taking revenge. They don't believe in doing this because they just believe that an attack on one is an attack on all. Because eventually, if one is attacked and nothing happens, then eventually every other person will be attacked, and they will be found as one as any given place because of the hazards of their occupation, which is cattle rearing. That you need to go into the jungle, you need to have a lot of space so that you cannot destroy crops. You have to get a lot of space so that the animals will have enough feed. You have to get into the bush so that you can get water, that it will not be water that the cow will dilute and people will be saying that there is their drinking water. So the Fulani person has been reduced to an endangered species. And unfortunately, he has not been protected by those who are supposed to protect Nigerians, that is government and the security agencies. And since they are not being protected, somehow they have to use their instincts of protecting themselves. And the Fulani person believes that if one of them is eliminated and nothing is done, to tell the people that there is going to be a deterrence if you continue to do this, then they just believe that they will be wiped out. But we have now come to establish an association that is known to law and that knows about the law also. So that we want to change the system whereby if the Fulani man is attacked anywhere, we are going to court, we are going to the security agencies, we are going to make sure that some leaders in that place are held responsible. We are going to make sure that the security agencies that allow it to happen will be held responsible until somebody accounts for the loss of life of that Fulani person. So that also, when the Fulani person is responsible for the loss of any life of any farmer, we are also going to do the same and ensure that this man does not endanger the entire Fulani who may have been innocent, who didn't know, who never had any communal or religious or whatever or occupational meeting to say they are going to take revenge or they are going to kill somebody. So for now, the fact is that I will never deny what I know is responsible for the Fulani man doing something that I consider to be unlawful. Because if I continue to do this, it will continue to happen and I will have no explanation for it, for you or for the government or for the security agency. That means the issue will never be addressed. And if the issue is never addressed because it has not been found out, nobody has done an in-depth analysis or investigation to know why it happened, they will continue to have this problem. So what I said in Agatu, I said I knew Fulani people have had problems. If the Agatus people say it is Fulani people, I will not say no. But first of all, I'll ask the Agatu people, within the last 10 years, what did you do to the Fulanis that warranted this? If you say you didn't do it, then it is not Fulani people who attacked you. But if you say you have done something to the Fulani person, maybe you kill 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 15 people more than that as I knew it, I said the Fulani people could be responsible. They may not be Fulanis of Benue, because the person you kill or the Fulani leader you kill may have come from Cameroon. He may be a Nigerian that has left and is now rearing his cattle because of the hostile relationship between farmers and herdsmen in Nigeria. He may have moved to Niger. He may have moved to Mali. He would have moved to the Republic of Benin. He would have moved to Libya, and he may have gone there and become a guerrilla or an ISIS member or a Boko Haram member. Now, if he is aware that some of his brothers have been killed in Nigeria, after all, he was looking for grounds for further training, or maybe the test of other weapons they are acquired from there. Nigerian lawless criminals have benefited so much from the Arab Spring. Arms came into jeeps. From jeeps, they were transferred to camels. From camels, they were transferred to horses. From horses to donkeys. From donkeys to cows. Into Nigeria, up to the Niger Delta. We are aware of the movement of small arms and light weapons. You understand? Now, when we were trying to give government advice as to how to cope this thing, we found out it cannot be done if we do not have associations that have affiliates in those places. So we use our people there and monitor the movement of this thing. Otherwise, and as far as people will continue to deny because they think they are in the jungle, and the herdsmen do not have children who are journalists like you. They don't have children who are policemen. They don't have children who are soldiers. They don't have children who are local government chairmen. They don't have children who are members of House Assembly. They don't have children who are members of House of Reps, Senate, Presidency, ministers. Therefore, they cannot be heard. So when 100 of their people are killed, the world never gets to know about it. But by the time they will say enough, let's use our instinct of survival to tell these people that if there is no law to protect us, in the jungle, everybody will protect himself. Otherwise, you'll be wiped out and your generation. So if the people decide that they will now fight back, and they kill 2 people, while 100 of them were killed, they will never got to know about it. The moment those 10 are killed, it will be all over. Daily Trust, all over the nation, all over Punch, all over Vanguard, all over the Sun, this day, and so on and so forth. Before you knew it, is in every religious organization that the Fulani do not belong to. It will be in every tribe and every community that the Fulani do not belong to. But the thing is that the Fulani know where they belong religiously, they know where they belong ethnically, they know where they belong communally. They will always go there, and when we go, we will listen and hear why certain things are done the way they are done. So the people who may have come to Agatu, there may be relations of some people who were killed there. There may be just some people who have been looking for an opportunity to infiltrate Nigeria and come in from some of these ECOWAS countries and sell arms. You know? And maybe before they sell arms, they have to show people the efficacy of these arms. So they may use the opportunity between just the problem of one Agatu family and one Fulani family, and before you knew it, they will scream blue murder, and people will come out and mayhems will take place.
From your statement, it appears it was premeditated, because you said this attack was a deliberate revenge carried out by you to avenge the killing of your leader who was killed way back in 2013. So when you say it might be people coming from, Chad or other countries, does that follow?
I don't think that was my categorical statement. Go and read it again, if I was misquoted. And that has happened to me several times. Because people have so much prejudice and bias against us. I have always said something. Before you can know your glasses are black, you must have had an idea of other colors that are not black. Otherwise, you will not know what to call this color. So if I say this one is black, but this paper is white, it is there somebody who will know the difference between black and white, at least by name. So what happened is that I sometimes say things that are negative and say things that are positive. To just oppose, to tell you if something is negative and you do nothing about it, this is what will come out of it. If something is positive and you don't do anything about it, this is what may come out of it. But sometimes where I say things that some people don't want to hear, because it kind of protects me and the people I represent, then it will be quoted out. But what I said that was negative, which if you have read what I said earlier, it wouldn't have appeared negative, because I have said the two things as a leader, and for a leader to say just one, to give one version of a story, is not a good leader. Let the people hear the position of the two board positions. Let the people hear the positions of the two groups. Then they can be able to know who should have done what to avert what happened. You understand? Or who did what to cause the problem. So, but sometimes I will be edited where I brought the justification or where I brought the protection for reasons that I know. Then you are giving this kind of angle that you have now. But what I said it might have been as a result of certain things that the Agatu people have done to the Fulani people. And I said it. I said, look, from 2009, when we established the Sultan Tea Farmers and Fulani Cattle Relationship Committee, with me as secretary, with Daniel Abomse as assistant secretary, with the Del Emir Ogombe as chairman, and the Totif as deputy chairman. Yeah? I said, we have found out that a lot of things are not what they are when we come to discuss frankly. But what the people go and interpret in order to cause mischief, both by the Fulani criminal groups and both by the thief and the Agatu criminal are always different from what the enlightened Fulani or Agatu people will say when we meet. So the problem is that people tend to say certain things that will make them have a lot of problem for themselves, so that they can be able to justify or carry out some ethnic and religious agenda.
Okay, now let me take a pause and then read some questions that are coming in. We have this one from Michael Ikea, and he says there are lots of claims, especially on the side of government, the bunking number of victims killed on the herdsmen, in the number that is the bunking claims about the number of victims that were killed in this crisis. His question is that is the number the real issue or the reason behind the killing?
Well, I seriously don't think numbers matter when it comes to doing what is wrong. If you unjustly eliminate one person and you unjustly eliminate 5 or 10 people, you will all be charged for murder or homicide or whatever. Nobody will say because you have killed one person, go. You are stealing 100 naira, go. You are stealing 100 million, go to jail forever. An offense that can, once it is committed, no matter how small, and no matter how big the victims are or how small, it's not going to be a justification. Because if you don't do something when the number is small, you may not be able to do anything when the number is big. So I cannot justify the killing of any single human being. Talk less of 2, talk less of 10 or 20. But on the part of the Fulanis, they have lost hundreds of people. On the part of the farmers, I am also aware, they have lost hundreds of people. You understand? But the unfortunate thing is that all this loss of life had not stopped this crisis from happening. It is still happening. So it simply means there are some death marshals among both the farmers and the herdsmen. And that is their own enterprise. And that is their own business. And we want to make sure that these people are fished out and brought out to face the law, both on the side of the farmers and on the side of the herdsmen. I have said it. Let them go and find out. We have the statistics. We have the witnesses. In some places where you are claiming that 200 people were killed, we have evidence that 20 people who were herdsmen were killed. We on what we are saying. If you want these 20 people or these 200 people to face the music, you understand? Then also bring those people who are responsible for the death of those 20 people. Let the 2 of them face the music, and we will have a sane society.
Okay, now you just mentioned that the Fulanis do not have people in government. You reeled out places you say they don't have in the National Assembly, they don't have but I do know that there are Fulani people who are occupying political positions. Right now you do have a Fulani, we do have a Fulani man that is the president of this country. So are we going to experience a paradigm shift now towards taking a different approach in resolving this crisis?
Not necessarily because there is one Fulani person who is president. If you were to do the census of the Fulani herdsmen who know Bayari, it's going to be less than 1%. Those who personally know Bayari among herdsmen, there will be less than 1%. I repeat, there will be less than 1%. As I speak to you, I do not know General Buhari. He does not personally know me. Because people make a mistake. Our people don't identify with you for the position you occupy outside what they do for a living or what they do as a community. So sometimes, when some of us become educated, we tend to be alienated against by those who feel that we no longer are in a position to protect them, that we have now gone to be an pro-establishment. And since we have not been able to protect them, when they were killing the Fulani in Benue State, I could not raise anything from the office of IG or from the office of Chief of Defense Staff or Chief of Army Staff to go there and protect any Fulani person. So that is not like that's all. I may not have the power to tell the Fulani in Benue State, look, when the Chief people come to attack you, Agatu, please don't fight back. I am going to protect you. In fact, I will be the first person that they will attack and eliminate first. Because the damage I would have done to them, by that my statement, maybe I would have made them to lose over 200 people even before they decide to do anything. So the theory is that when you look at the Nigerian society and you look at children of herdsmen or the herdsmen themselves, you find out there are less than 1% in the entire thing that you call government or security agencies in this country. Most of the people you find, maybe are like me, that are no longer even, maybe if I wasn't a leader of the Fulani, if I wasn't a patriotic nationalist who wants to protect my people by protecting Nigeria and protecting law and order, maybe you will find out that I wouldn't have been with you here talking on this issue, because I may not have known the issue. So there are a lot of Fulani urban managers, a lot of Fulani people are police commissioners and so on, but they do not know what is happening within the herdsmen in Nigeria, and vis-a-vis the problem of herdsmen and Fulani, and farmers in this country.
Okay, now winding down now, we have to be looking for solutions now. Now, it is established that yes, we have a problem on our hands between the herdsmen and the farmers. Now, as a Fulani leader, thank God you said that with the establishment of this your new your association, the now this one now is going to be an umbrella body under which you can now resolve crisis. What kind of options, peace options, should we be looking at?
Well, foremost, let us all first of all see ourselves as Nigerians before we see ourselves as our village warlords. Let's have a nation that will make me know, as a thief man, you are useful to me as a Nigerian. And that if there is a war today against Nigeria, me and you will stand together to fight to liberate Nigeria before we come back to our villages, before we come back and you become a farmer and a thief man, and then I'll become a Fulani man and a herdsman. You understand? That will be our own fight when we come back. When we don't have a nation, we will all perish at that battlefield, and that country will overrun us, and there will be no thief in Nigeria, there will be no Fulani in Nigeria, there will be no yam in Nigeria, there will be no meat or butter or cheese in Nigeria or no. What we are saying, first of all, is that I know how much Nigeria imports billions of dollars worth of fish into this country. I do not know about 100 million that the federal government of Nigeria has used in importing beef. All the beef you eat in this country is sourced locally from the herdsmen. So I know the herdsmen assist or are part of what we call, they provide what we call food security, without which me and you here will go and break any restaurant here when we are hungry and eat. So we know what we contribute. Let the farmers know that we have something we contribute that is sustaining Nigeria. Let Nigerians also know that the farmers have something they contribute that is sustaining Nigeria. Then let us be our brothers' keepers. And first of all, we are saying that in every hamlet, in every village, in every district, there are Fulani leaders. There are leaders association. There are traditional leaders of the Fulani called the herders. If your farm is vandalized, for goodness sake, do not go and invite your community to come with the superiority of arms and superiority or numerical strength of the people from your village as a community to go and attack the herdsman that have destroyed.
Okay, quickly, let's take this question, and it's coming from our COO, that is the Chief Operation Officer of Daily Trust here, and he's asking that, is there a solution in the short term, and will this also explode into a large issue?
Well, there is a solution. The solution is that you as a thief man now, you are interviewing me, asking me certain things. I am learning from you, you are learning from me. If you can relate some of these things home, while I relate this kind of thing also home, there will be a solution. People begin to understand these things are not, they are happening because these issues that these people are raising have not been addressed. You cannot say you don't want Fulani people in Benue State. Benue State is not it's not a country of its own. If it were a country of its own, you will have to operate as a country under international law that will allow the Fulani person to come into any part of the world. You know, like you have a German, you have a man from this thing that can come to into Benue, and nobody will stop the Tima or the Igbo man from going to Sokoto next to the Sultan house and build his shop and do his trading. Let us know that there's no way you can go to a house assembly and say you're passing an anti-grazing anti-grazing bill, that there should be no grazing. Then simply we say there should be a bill in Adamawa, there should be a bill in Taraba and Kano and Kaduna, there should be no farming of yams. Because you find the yams, they obstruct cattle from grazing and they destroy the yam. Therefore, those governors will say they have banned yam planting so that there will be peace between farmers and herdsmen. You don't do like that. Allow the man who have gone to Benue to destroy crops, let the law catch up with him. Let him be prosecuted. If he should be hanged, let him be hanged by a competent court of law. Let him be punished. Let him be jailed for 100 years. The same thief man, if he goes to Sokoto and he goes there to do anything against the people of Sokoto, let him go to jail in Sokoto. The same way the Sultan's son or Sultan himself, if he commits an offense, will also go to jail there because he has no immunity. So therefore, what we should do, let's resort to law, not lawlessness. No people just assume that these people are a minority. Let's just accuse them on something, then let's justify attack on them so that we can go and kill them or chase them away and rustle as many of their cows as possible because we are hungry or because we need meat. No, let us not do it that way. Let us come together as Nigerians. Let us make sure, let the Fulani make sure that anybody that destroys crops is held accountable. Let the herders do the same with us. Let the thief people make sure that any Fulani man that goes into your farm and destroy anything, don't beat him, don't kill him. Make sure you report to us. If we can't find the Fulani man, we will have to find their leaders to pay compensation for this. And we have tried that several times. As I am talking to you here, I have been a member of all Farmers Association of Nigeria, which bring all commodity associations, including herdsmen, together. And we are always saying, look, you are a farmer, we are in the same group. Please, when Fulani destroy crop, if you can't find the people who destroy the crop, tell us, we will tell the herder to produce them. We will send the leader of our association to produce them. If they fail to, we will find them and they will pay. If we cannot locate them, then we, as an association, will have an account for settlement of the destruction of crop. But I can tell you, in 10 years, no farmer has ever brought a claim to us as leader of Fulani to settle, except we hear that crops have been destroyed, herdsmen have been killed. Herdsmen have come for reprisal, and herdsmen have killed farmers. This has been the vicious cycle, and this must stop.
Do you have a problem with the creation of ranches?
I have.
What's your problem with it?
My problem with the creation of ranches. Ranches are not created by anybody. Ranches are self-acquired pieces of land for people who can afford it.
If Fulanis have money, they do business, they have a lot of money.
Let me tell you, if I were to give you 1 billion today and tell you, go and get me 500,000 hectares in Benue State, I can assure you will not get it. I give you 500 billion, the thief man will not take it. For you to give 500,000 hectares to the Fulani person to do lunches, he will not, because his land is not for sale. It's his hereditary. If your great-grandparent has sold it, he will be nowhere in this world. He will belong nowhere. So he will not do it. What is only you who can be civilized enough, educated enough to go and say, instead of rearing 500 cows, they want to rear 50.